Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Zone. Let's go ahead and talk about those All-Star jerseys that were revealed the other night. I know a lot of people have some really strong opinions on this jersey, and by that I basically mean a lot of people seem to hate these jerseys, and that is completely fair. I probably saw only like 6 or 7 people say that they do actually like these jerseys, and I kind of fall into that camp as well. I do kind of tend to like these ones, and I can acknowledge that, these are pretty ugly jerseys, but I do tend to like those ugly jerseys, right? Like, if you take a look around me, I like the strange, I like the weird looking jerseys, and I would say that these All-Star ones fall into that same camp there. But before we go ahead and take a look at all these photos here, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Okay, so we'll pull up all of the jerseys at once here. I'm sure you guys have already seen these jerseys quite a number of times. I'm pretty much the last one to make a video on these, just because I honestly didn't have time to record beforehand, so this was the soonest I could record. Anyways though, with these jerseys here, let's start off by talking about that crest there, because that is the big talking point with a lot of people. You have that massive star in the background, then the NHL shield with the 4 stars around it. For me, I just kind of like it. It's a little bit fun. The logo does look a little bit childish, I would say that, but that's kind of the point of the All-Star games, right? Like, they're made for kids and everything. So with this logo here, it almost, to me, it really reminds me of a coloring book that's not properly done. And what I mean by that is, if you zoom in a little bit into the logo, you can see that there is that black outline, of course, and then the main NHL color is the yellow. However, there is a little bit of white in there as well, and that kind of part, it makes it feel like it's a coloring book that's just not filled in all of the way. So that's kind of what I see with this logo, but honestly, it doesn't bother me as much as I initially thought it would, at least not in this part of the jersey. There is another section of the jersey that has something similar to this, and I don't love that aspect of it, but on the logo, for some reason, I actually kind of like it. I also kind of like the stars around the NHL shield. They do feel a little bit random, like someone was just like, sure, place a star here, and here, and here, and here, and sure, that looks good. Like, it does kind of feel like that, but honestly, I don't know, it's a little bit wacky. Now, for how the logo is actually going to be made, I've seen a couple people question, if it's all going to be sublimation or what. So the big star in the background, that is going to be sublimated, which is completely okay, because you can't have a crest that big. It would be just massive, and it just would not work at all. It would just be so awkward to sit in. So the crest part is just going to be the NHL shield and the little stars around it. That works. I think that is going to be completely fine. Let's move on to the sleeve striping though, which is the reason why I've seen a lot of people call these jerseys a practice jersey. So on this white one here, you can see that it has 3 black stripes going up the side of the arm, which is mimicked on a lot of practice jerseys. They're just on the side of the torso instead of the sleeve. And I get complaints there, but honestly, I don't think it looks that bad, especially with the stars on the top. But I do think the blue and the red version work a lot better with the black and yellow. I think that works way more than the white version here and the yellow version. The yellow version is its own kind of thing. We'll maybe get to it in a little bit here, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the yellow one, I will say that. The blue and the red one do look good with the striping. The little kind of section there to hold the numbers, I think that is fine. The only reason it comes off as a little strange is because then it just kind of makes a weird section of striping, like right here in the upper half of the shoulder. Like, you do want to have a little bit of striping there, because if you leave it off, it comes off feeling a little bit too bland. But with it being there, it also doesn't feel like there's enough striping. So I almost wish it kind of went up further into the shoulder area and almost into the neckline. Like, I think that may have made it look a little bit nicer, because especially if you don't have this jersey customized, that section is going to feel really awkward. And speaking of the customization, let's take a look at that on the back of the jersey here. So for myself, this is the worst part of the jersey. I really do not like it whatsoever. We were talking about on the crest of this jersey, where it has the yellow kind of off-centered with a little bit of white around it. That's the same thing with this number kit. However, I feel like it looks a lot worse on these numbers. I don't know why I hate it so much with these numbers and not on the crest, but I just do. Maybe it's the font or whatever it may be. I'm not really quite too sure, but I really do not like these numbers whatsoever. But my God, what is that nameplate? Oh my God, it is awful, man. It is so bad. So it's like a text speech bubble or something like that, and it's all lowercase. Don't do that. Don't have an all lowercase number kit. It looks so weird. And that's not even mentioning the fact that the name bar is underneath the numbers, which obviously is a thing in some certain leagues, mostly around Europe. It was in the NWHL when that league was a thing, the women's league. I think it was in one of the All-Star games as well. So it's not like it's a new thing. It has been around, but I usually do not like it. And I really don't like it here. Like, maybe if that name bar was a little bit cooler and the font on the name was a lot cooler, but you know, it feels almost, a lot of people have said like Comic Sans. It does really kind of give off that Comic Sans vibe. And yeah, it just looks like a text speech bubble. It's really bad. I hate the customization kit on these jerseys. I am not a fan of it whatsoever. But one thing that I do need to give to these customization kits, and really the entire jerseys themselves, is they're not boring, right? There's something different. They're wild, they're wacky, and that's what I really like about them. My main issue with a lot of the All-Star Game jerseys is they're really boring. Like, I really am not a huge fan of the 2022 All-Star Game jerseys. They look fine, right? But they're just inoffensive, and they're kind of just there. I love these ones, though. Obviously, the 2023 ones were phenomenal. They knocked them out of the park. I love these ones so much because they are legitimately really good-looking jerseys. With these new All-Star Game ones, the 2023 ones, or 2024 ones, sorry, forget which year it was. I like these new All-Star Game jerseys because they are a little bit ugly and weird and wild and just not boring. Like, let's be honest as well. How many of you guys actually watch the All-Star Game? I don't. I don't remember the last time that I actually watched one, to be honest with you. But with these jerseys here, maybe I will watch the All-Star Game just to see them actually in person, and well, not in person, obviously, but I mean on TV and everything like that, for them to be worn in game. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of it. I'm definitely not going to watch the whole thing, that is for sure. But yeah, with these ones here, they give me a little bit of intrigue in watching the games just to see how they actually look, because they are just so random and wacky. So I'll give them props there. These All-Star Game jerseys are definitely memorable, though. There are a lot of All-Star Game jerseys that are kind of just okay. You know, you see them when they first release and you go, yeah, they're not bad looking jerseys, but in a couple of years you forget about them until they pop up on like eBay or something like that, and then you go, oh yeah, I forgot about those jerseys. With these ones here, whether you like them or you hate them, I think they are going to be kind of sticking around in a lot of people's memories for at least a little while here. And one last thing that I want to talk about here as well is, of course, these jerseys are a collaboration in between the NHL and Drew House, which is Justin Bieber's brand. He's worked pretty closely with the Toronto Maple Leafs for a little while here. You know, he has Austin Matthews, like, really good friend apparently, and of course they also worked on the Toronto Maple Leafs third jersey. That one is a collaboration with Drew House. I actually like that jersey a decent amount. Even the reversible side, it's a little bit strange, but I like the attempt. I don't think the execution is quite there, but I like the thought behind it. With these ones here, though, I've seen a lot of people really hate on Justin Bieber for these. I guess people still really don't like Justin Bieber. I don't really fully get it. I used to hate Justin Bieber when I was a kid, but I think that was just because I was jealous because the girls my age liked Justin Bieber, so I think that's kind of the reason I grew out of that. But yeah, apparently people still really do not like the guy. For myself, I don't mind him. Like, I haven't really followed him in a very long time, to be honest. I haven't listened to any of his new music. If he's really even put out any, I honestly don't know. The only thing that I know about him is that he's a Leaf fan and he likes Austin Matthews, and that doesn't really sway me to liking the guy, to be honest. It doesn't really sway me in the other direction. You know, I am a Leaf fan, but yeah, I don't really care a whole lot, to be honest. He's kind of just there for me. So yeah, him making these jerseys, I don't really care a whole lot. And like I said, overall, I do kind of like these jerseys a decent amount. They're different, right? If I were to rank these jerseys, though, the blue one is definitely the best. Then I would say the red. I really like the yellow on both of those colors. I think they look pretty good. The white one is going to come in third there. It still looks pretty good, but not really as great as the blue and the red one. And then the yellow one is definitely the last place. I am not a fan of the yellow one. Just the yellow on yellow really doesn't look that great. And honestly, yellow as the main color of the jersey, I really don't think works most of the time anyway. So yeah, not a fan of that yellow one. The other three, though, I think, you know, are fun, right? They're wacky, they're wild. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the jerseys. Let me know your guys' in the comments down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all of my social medias. But yeah, like I said, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.